Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is the first news from today's newspaper, front page dawn. Government rejects claims of deaths in NAB custody. National Accountability Bureau, NAB custody. Opposition lawmakers in Senate slam anti-graft watchdog for victimizing political opponents of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf PTI. By Iftikhar A. Khan. Islamabad, the government on a Monday rubbished the allegations being made by opposition legislators in and outside Parliament regarding human rights violations by the National Accountability Bureau, NAB, including deaths of over a dozen individuals in its custody. Winding up discussion on National Accountability Bureau, NAB's performance in the Senate, Prime Minister's advisor on accountability, Barrister Shahzad Akbar said 10 of the individuals named by Senate Deputy Chairman Salim Mandiwala among those allegedly killed while in NAB's National Accountability Bureau's NAB's custody had in fact died while they were under judicial remand. During judicial remand, the accused remains in prison and not under the physical custody of National Accountability Bureau, NAB, said the Prime Minister's advisor. He said Chief Financial Officer, CFO, of Omni Group, Aslam Masood, had died in Adiala prison while he was under judicial custody, whereas retired Brigadier Asad Panir, named by the Deputy Chairman of the Senate, had never been arrested and died at his house. It was unjust to link the deceased Brigadier Panir with National Accountability Bureau, NAB, the Prime Minister's advisor remarked. Only two individuals, Pakistan Telecommunication Limited, PTCL Divisional Engineer Agha Muhammad Sajjad and Zafar Iqbal Mughal, allegedly involved in a housing scheme scam, had died in the National Accountability Bureau, NAB lockup. He pointed out, explaining that in both the cases there was no allegation of torture. About the criticism over various provisions of National Accountability Bureau NAB law, the Prime Minister's PM's advisor said the law had already undergone judicial scrutiny. He referred to the Supreme Court judgment in Abid Memon case, PLD 2013, in which the court held that 90-day remand was not in violation of Section 10, Part 2 of the Constitution. He said power of arrest under Section 24 of the National Accountability Bureau, NAB, ordinance had also been validated by the court. Barrister Akbar believed that the reasons for opposition's tirade against the National Accountability Bureau, NAB, and accusations of political victimizations was because of National Accountability Bureau's NAB's performance that had improved during the past couple of years. He said, according to National Accountability Bureau's NAB's actual report for the year 2019, rupees 141 billion had been recovered, and the total recoveries during 2019 and 2020 came to rupees 389 billion. In contrast, he added, and the recoveries totaled rupees 104 billion in 10 years before the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf came into power. Likewise, he said the Punjab Anti-Corruption Department recovered rupees 206 billion in 27 months, while rupees 3 billion had been recovered over the past decade. This phenomena um, this phenomenal difference in performance is just because there is no political interference now, he said. He said the recoveries had been made from the influential individuals who had enjoyed immunity in the past. In case of alleged victimization of the forum of courts was available, he added. Under the United Nations Convention Against Corruption, ratified signed and ratified by Pakistan, it was mandatory for the countries to have a central anti-graft watchdog, he said, adding that all the 12 offenses in the purview of the National Accountability Bureau, NAB, were required to be criminalized under the convention. He said Pakistan was not the only country to have a central institution against corruption and cited the example of India, Malaysia, South Asia, Kenya, and Singapore, which had anti-graft watchdogs and identical law. In Pakistan, he explained, an individual was arrested under the accountability law on the warrants issued by the National Accountability Bureau, NAB chairman. In India, where CBI kept a check on corruption, there was a provision of arrest without warrants, he said, adding that there was a provision for arrest at the investigation stage in other countries as well. He said assets beyond sources or illicit enrichment was an offense in almost all the countries of the world. Barrister Akbar said of the 12 offenses under National Accountability Bureau's NAB's jurisdiction, onus of proof lay on the accused in just one offense of assets beyond known sources of income. He said likewise, the provision of disqualification was also there in many countries. He said in Pakistan, the convicts were disqualified for 10 years, while in Argentina, it entitled a lifetime bar. The advisor said the government was ready for talks to reform the accountability law, but ruled out talks on any person-specified legislation. Any person-specific legislation. Okay, impartiality questioned. Earlier, the opposition lawmakers slammed National Accountability Bureau (NAB) for victimizing the political opponents of the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf (PTI) government and raised questions over its impartiality. They regretted that the persons facing serious charges were sitting in the cabinet and those behind sugar, wheat, flour, and medicines scams were not being punished. They said the lawmakers from the opposition were being arrested and kept behind bars for long on the basis of mere allegations. In his speech, Senate Deputy Chairman Salim Mandiwala called for reigning in the National Accountability Bureau (NAB), accusing the anti-graft watchdog of committing serious human rights violations. Mr. Mandiwala read out a list of persons he said had been killed while in National Accountability Bureau custody. In addition, some individuals harassed the National Accountability Bureau (NAB) had committed suicide, the deputy chairman of the upper house of parliament pointed out. He demanded verification of educational degrees and domiciles of National Accountability Bureau (NAB) officials, besides a scrutiny into their case, into their assets and the manner they had been inducted. What is the fear which prevents investigations against National Accountability Bureau (NAB)? He asked. Killing of Shia Hazara workers. Parliamentary leader of the Pakistan People's Party in the Senate, Shari Rahman, while commencing the Senate debate on a point of public importance over the March target tragedy, said 11 coal miners have been killed in Balochistan just because they belonged to the Shia Hazara community. If this is not ethnic cleansing, then what is? This systematic killing of Hazaras needs to be stopped, she said. Senator Rahman said, according to Pakistan's National Commission for Human Rights, NCHR, more than 2,000 members of the Hazara community had been killed since 2004. Moreover, more than 700,000 Hazaras had abandoned the areas in a bid to have a better and safer life. This oppressed the persecuted community. This oppressed and persecuted community is targeted almost everywhere in Balochistan, she remarked. She said the coal miners were working for the development of Pakistan and their security was the responsibility of the state. If there are checkpoints all over Balochistan, then now could the terrorists escape? Why was there a lapse? Senator Rahman questioned. The Pakistan People's Party (PPP) parliamentary leader regretted that despite the magnitude of this tragedy, Prime Minister Imran Khan or Balochistan Chief Minister Jam Kamal Khan Aliani had not visited the families. Making phone calls to condole is not enough. They should have gone to support the grieving families, she said. Combating terrorism is a persistent and serious issue that requires a strong strategic plan. Where is the National Action Plan? National Action Plan and NAP's poor planning and a lack of government oversight has led to its monumental ineffectiveness, she added. And in the end, the formal request, if you if you have not yet, please subscribe our channel and press the bell button to get the fresh from us. Thank you for watching. Have a nice time. Goodbye.